Hello, welcome to the virtual Obon 2023 of the San Jose Buddhist Church of Betsuan. We're gathered here today, Jim McClure, the Obon Chairperson Emeritus, and Ken Kamei, the Obon Chairperson, and I'm Dennis Akizuki, and we're here to talk about how things are different this year. And of course, we're a Buddhist temple. And impermanence is one of the things that we talk about all the time. Everything changes. So like Obon has changed over the years, and certainly over the last several years, Obon has changed a lot. Obviously, because we had the pandemic, we had Obon at home, then we kind of had little hybrids Obon, and we came back last year, not maybe 85%. And I'd say maybe this year we're at 95% or close to that, around there. There's still a few things that have not come back fully. But I think encouraging thing that happened, in my view at least, is that we have younger people who have stepping up and taking over some of the functions, some of the booths, some of the activities. For example, we have a couple of young people who in their mid-20s who are taking over beef teriyaki. And one thing that they did was they actually found a vendor that would provide us with sliced meat. We took over slicing the meat, and we did that over, I think, 3 weekends, and it was like nonstop for hours and hours and hours, because it's like, how much, 2,000 pounds of meat?
It's over.
And another thing is we had a changeover in chicken teriyaki, which was huge. The people who have been running chicken teriyaki for probably decades, they're stepping back from running it. They'll still be there to help out. We fortunately found some, again, younger people to take over that. That's probably the most labor-intensive activity that we have, Obon, and it takes a lot of people, a big crew. The crew pretty much is going to be intact, but we're going to have some younger people take over and actually run and oversee chicken cooking and chicken prep. Ken, you have anything to say?
Oh, yes, I do. That this year we are back, and it's one of a return to the Obons that I remember as a child growing up, and that was the dancing, the music, the smell of grilled meat or grilled food, and now we also have the return of noodles. We had some fresh produce that was absent, and those were a lot of the things that used to be incorporated in the Obons that I remember of the past. That the noodles, the grilled food, the sushi, and the fresh produce that a lot of the elders here were part of the valley, the harvest of the valley. So we have that returning again. And as Dennis was saying, in the past, a lot of it was really labor intensive because that was the way it was done in the past. And now it's very difficult to do that. People have a lot of things to do, a lot of activities to participate in, and we're trying to incorporate in as many time-saving measures as we can to still have a full Obon. And we expect it to be returning this year to well over 1,000 dancers on Saturday night. So we're hoping everyone comes out to enjoy that. And Taiko, they're celebrating their 50th anniversary this year. It started here at this church. There'll be a lot of young people there performing. We have an entertainer coming in.
We have Be the Match. I think it's a bone marrow donor program, and some people, younger people out there, may know the singer Kina Grannis. Kina Grannis is looking for a bone marrow donor for her mother, who is suffering from leukemia. So Kina is going to be here to promote bone marrow donation. And she has very graciously agreed to sing a little bit on Sunday afternoon at 2:30, I believe. So that's new as well. It's kind of just because of her drive to get a donor for her mom, and she, like I said, very graciously agreed to sing a little bit. And getting back to what Ken was saying about, ramen is coming back, and then we haven't had a salad for like 5 or 6 years. And so again, younger people stepped up, and they're going to have a salad they call BTS, for you K-pop fans out there, Buddhist Temple Salad. And it's going to be a vegetarian salad So that'll be a nice addition to Obon. Jim, you want to say anything about?
That's the first time I heard you put that bit together about the BTS. That's pretty funny, because there are a lot of people that are the people who follow them are called the BTS Army. That's how serious they are. Well, from my perspective, it's a little different because I retired a number of years ago. I can't remember when. And as you know, impermanence is the order here because things are changing all the time, trying to react to the current challenges. And one of the current challenges we have is concern for the safety of all of our people and the Sangha and volunteers and our guests. And this is prompted, of course, by the tragedy at the Gilroy Garlic Festival a few years back. So trying to make a festival welcoming, friendly, and at the same time safe. But it seems to be working out. We always have uniformed police on duty anyway. We've also been bringing in private security, civilian security, and several discussions about how to deal with that. And coming up, there's an app that will give you information if something's going awry. As a side note, Rich Saito was the guy who championed that. Right? And Rich Saito is now in the hospital with a pin in his femur and his ankle because he fell off a ladder when he was helping to clean the Issei Memorial Building last week. I visited him this morning. He's hanging in there, but it's going to be a long haul for him. So we're going to have to make sure we cross our T's and dot our I's regarding the security stuff.
So we all wish the best for Rich. We owe a huge debt of gratitude to him for volunteering very selflessly, hours and hours and hours of his time to kind of help the community be safe. And we wish him full and speedy recovery. And it's encouraging to see that younger people are stepping up to take over responsibility for the Obon Festival. As you can tell, the three people on this doing this interview are not young people by any means, and so I think we're all very concerned about the future of Obon, and I think it's promising that we have people stepping up, and that's going to have to continue, of course, over the years. We hope to have it looks to be going to be a very successful Obon this year. At least that's what we hope.
We sure do. We hope it's going to be a very successful one. It just seems like it. The weather's changing. It's in our favor. And I think it can't go without saying that Jim McClure is really the father of the modern Obon we have here.
Yes.
He's the one who created this large affair that some folks think is maybe too large, but I think it couldn't be too large because it's the temple's way of welcoming the whole community to join in and experience what Obon is about, which is what our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents all tried to preserve as a tradition as they settled here. A lot of people couldn't return after COVID because of, aging, maybe other things, but it just created a big void in a lot of the way Obon was run. So this will be a new step, and I've always considered, at least my role, to just be a custodian of the event, just a caretaker of an actual event, and handing it off to a newer group is going to be really my pleasure to see what they do with it too and how they take care of it.
Yeah, the irony is, I've been in the street festival business since 1982 now, and that wasn't with Obon. I was with another festival that bounced all over the valley here. And then when some of the senior leaders of Obon back in 2000, because I had been volunteering as a grunt anyway, because our kids went to the Dharma school and stuff like that. And they found out my other experience. And that's how I got recruited, drafted on the, to take care of Obon. And I knew I had really two missions. The event comes out of history and culture, but also Obon is the largest single fundraiser that the temple has, and the money is targeted to keep our buildings functional and standing. So I thought, okay, I got to make that work. And I thought, hopefully everybody will have a good time. And the one place I think I always failed miserably is we were too successful, and work got harder. you know, because their crowds got bigger. And every year I've tried, okay, how are we going to do this year? So things were getting twisted a little bit all the time just to accommodate the people we had. So one year I had some high school kids with the tally counters where you just click at both corners. And the number was much higher than anybody had thought it was. You know, there was well over 2,000 people just coming onto the site. And then, of course, the dancing numbers, I think the last one I remember was close to 1,500, Dennis. You probably remember.
2019, I think it was like 1,500. Last year was less, and which
Oh,
was
yeah. You know, but
coming out of the
yeah, before COVID, yeah, I mean, you know, it was, you know, elbow to elbow and almost heel to toe, you know, with dancers, and it was beautiful.
And I go around town now, even when I went to City Hall today to get the signage for no parking. Met a young man there who was a staff person. He said he's from the little Portuguese community out here, and he goes and he brings his family there all the time. And he remembers when his parents brought his family and their family here too to eat at Obon. So it was just one of those things where they it's carried on. It's a community event. It really has turned out to be a community event for the city of San Jose.
Obon means different things to different people, right? For the wider community, it's a really fun, colorful activity. For the wider Japanese American community, it's a cultural event and one of the most important cultural events around. But for Buddhists, it's an important religious observance. We're expressing our gratitude to those who came before us. And dancing, the dance Obonodori or Obon dancing is really what Obon is all about. And we are dancing to remember those friends and relatives who are no longer with us, expressing our gratitude for everything that they have given us, and expressing also the gratitude for everybody who has worked at Obon and made it into really one of the premier festivals in the area. So we hope everybody comes out and has a good time.